personality differences and the cultural differences as to why the men are leaving. You're honing in on the money.
But listen, a lot of females, they're not looking for love. They're looking for money in other world countries.
Of course.
Okay.
But at least, because women in America are looking for money too, right?
And there's not as much money in other countries.
Yeah.
So that's why men go.
But hold on.
Financially stable.
The women here are looking for money in the United States as well, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so it's everywhere. So if I'm going to spend my money, is it better for me to go ahead and get with a girl that at least I'm getting a return back on my investment, where she's actually a woman, she's feminine, she's submissive, she listens to me, she doesn't give me a headache, etc.? If all girls are looking for money, which you just said, which is true, hold on, which is true, I agree with you, and there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. I think women should look for a guy that can support them.
Security,
it is a component.
But and that's fair. It's a biological trait. I'm not shitting on women for that. What I am saying is, at least the man gets something in return, where he's getting a lady versus another version of him. I'm saying a lot of American women are masculine. So why am I going to pay top dollar for a girl that behaves like a man when I can go to another country where she has cultural differences, she understands masculinity,
and
she understands being a lady?
And you pay like $2.
I think that also goes with
where's your respect?
$2.
Okay, so we're paying $2 for what exactly? What are we paying $2 for? Pussy?
$2 is crazy.
You get tipped $2 at the strip club. Well, these girls aren't. You're not walking down. You're not walking down
$2 Tuesdays.
I don't know.
Like that's
I just don't think you see my perspective. That
do you have a passport?
Money is a component. However,
I think it's preference.
Yeah, money is absolutely a component. There's nothing wrong with that for women wanting a guy that has money. But what I'm saying is that at least the women have cultural differences that are more conducive to a successful relationship. She knows her place as a woman. Versus in America, right? Women think that they can behave and act and treat you like a man. Does that make sense?
But okay, so you're saying treating you like a man. Where like
she behaves like a man.
Yeah, like she's the man.
Like
I don't act like a man, so I don't know.
Like she's alpha,
that doesn't
not behaving like a man. Like she's alpha. Say that.
I wasn't talking about you specifically. I was talking in general. This is a Western. Right. It's a Western phenomenon. There's a reason why guys. That's a masculine trait right now that you've been constantly interrupting, etc. Being non-agreeable, which is cool. That's fine. But understand that these are masculine traits.
But what's wrong with that?
It's annoying.
We don't want it.
Okay, but why?
The same way you don't want some feminine ass fucking pussy to date you.
True, 100%.
Thank you for proving my point.
But do you want somebody who?
No, that's check and mate.
No, because that's not even fair. You're just.
It's not fair now.
It's not fair.
But do you remember we asked earlier if you could have the perfect guy in Namibia land, wherever that is, you go there, right?
Yeah, I said yes.
Same thing here. Us as guys dating in America is like, yo, this is crazy.
But I'm just trying to understand actually why. Like, what's wrong with a woman speaking up for herself? Like, what's so annoying about it to you?
What he's saying, it kind of comes off like you want a submissive woman that'll do anything that you want. I'm not saying that's what you want.
Yeah, that's what it comes off as.
The girls that kind of
who's coming off as saying that we want submissive?
I'm just saying some of the girls like.
Someone said it was annoying.
Yeah, some of the girls, it comes off kind of like that. Not saying that that's what you want.
Yeah.
But it kind of comes off that way, you know. And the other point that I had is
what did we say that said that?
It's fine. Let's get a point. I said that's because men go to these foreign countries because the women are more submissive.
Go ahead. I said that. It just comes off that way.
Because I know you had been trying to talk for a bit. Go ahead.
Yeah, and the other point was that so men, like in America. They normally focus more on their career and they want the woman kind of like to support them, which is great. They should. And
you really think that's great?
To support men?
A woman supporting a man financially?
No. I meant like just supporting them like with their career and what they're doing emotionally, I guess, you know. But you know, so sometimes when the woman wants to do that, the guy gets all pissed off and think that they're like masculine or they're focusing on themselves and not focusing enough on the guy. So I mean, it's not all the time, but I mean that does happen often where the guy doesn't want the woman to be like, you know, empowered or something.
Yeah,
so
like what's wrong with a dominant woman?
What's wrong with equal partnership?
Well,
like, I don't understand.
I think it comes from like the traditional role of a man and a woman.
Because you asked the question why, what's wrong with it? That's why men leave.
Yeah, okay.
Because you should know.
Because we're asking questions?
No, because it's the mindset.
We're asking questions.
No, it's the traditional role of man and woman.
traditional roles matter.
Right.
Here it's like, oh,
no, I
can be a man too. I'm gonna argue what you're saying. It's like, we don't want that as men.
100%. And like the issue with it is I feel like women we're kind of conditioned to take this role and to be so combative and to be like masculine by men because you guys act like bitches.
It's the culture.
Well, I will admit the culture here does breed this to happen.
Yeah.
But let's say you do want to find a man.
Yes.
You got to do what's going to work for you and work for him as well, not just you.
Yeah.
But
because I've always wondered that too.
Because you asked earlier what's wrong with a woman standing up for herself or something like that. That was your question.
Yeah. What's wrong with a woman like arguing back?
Okay. Let's go ahead into a dream situation real fast. Right?
Only poor people argue. Right? Just like that's like a poor people hobby. Like, oh, we had some drama at the house today. Like, no, you're poor and you have nothing to do.
God.
That's a fucking poor people hobby.
All right. So let's say hypothetically, right? Me and you were in a relationship, and I spent 2 hours to get dressed every single time, right? I was more concerned with going shopping and fashion and buying nice shoes and belts than you were. I take significantly longer than you to do everything because I need to make sure I'm always looking pristine when I walk outside, right? I get my nails done, I get pedicures, etc. I'm not gay or anything, but I'm just extremely worried about my looks. Would that annoy you?
Yeah, it would.
It would, right?
As a man,
It would it annoy you too?
are you saying
Yeah, as a man. Yeah, would it annoy you?
I mean,
Okay, that's fine. Would it annoy you?
No.
if we're doing it together,
Taking 2 hours to get
I
ready?
would.
maybe not.
I don't even take 2 hours to get ready.
That's what I'm
If my
trying to
guy
say.
did, oh yeah, then I would
Yeah,
be
if I'm
annoyed.
taking 2 to 3 hours to get ready, I spend a bunch of money on fashion. I'm always trying to be, the best dressed. I'm going to get manicures, etc., getting a haircut every 2 days.
I would have
Would
some
that be annoying?
questions.
Yeah. I would
Okay,
be
what about
annoyed.
you? Would that be annoying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Would that be annoying?
mindset, yeah.
What about you? Would that be annoying for you as well?
That wouldn't annoy me at all.
I was sorry, you wanted to say something?
If my man did that,
Yes.
would I be annoyed?
Yes.
Am I paying for it?
Maybe sometimes because it does cost a
You're paying the
little.
ultimate price with your time.
Yeah. Maybe you'll pay a little bit of it because
Might
it's so
have
expensive.
Set boundaries.
Yes.
Oh, so he can only
Beginning
take an hour
of
to
the
get
end.
ready or whatever now?
An hour is a good amount of time.
No, but he normally takes 2 to 3.
Oh my goodness.
As a man,
Yeah, as a
Yeah,
man.
it might
What
be
are you
fresh.
doing?
He could start getting ready earlier. Like,
All right,
give
so
me a
it would annoy you then.
compromise.
Okay,
Oh.
what about you? Would it annoy you? He takes more, care of his presence and his looks than you do?
Me?
The guy, yeah, that you're in a relationship with a guy that's metro.
It wouldn't bother me, honestly.
Would it bother you? Okay, that's fine.
No.
What about you? Would it bother you?
If he's just metrosexual, that's okay.
No, but
We say that in Russian, excuse me.
He spends a bunch of money
That's what it
on
sounds like.
clothes, on his hair. He spends more than you, and he spends more time. It takes him hours to get dressed. Would that annoy you?
I've been dating somebody like that. That was okay. As long as he's not narcissist.
That's a
it's all about preference and dating.
Yeah, but that essentially makes you a narcissist when you're spending that much time on your appearance.
I mean, it's a narcissistic trait.
Yeah.
It might not necessarily make you a narcissist,
narcissist.
though.
Okay.
Definitely a
Psychologist.
narcissistic
Can we let her answer, please? Go ahead. Would that annoy you?
2 hours, maybe too much. Yeah.
Okay. What about you? Would that annoy you?
I mean, I would want my man to obviously upkeep himself and look.
Yeah, but we're not talking about upkeep. We're talking about overkeep.
I mean, if it was, because you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I take 2 hours to get ready. Like,
Yeah.
You're a girl. That's normal.
Exactly.
That's normal.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I'm trying
But
to
if
see
your
where you're trying to go with
guy
this.
was taking 2
I wanna see
hours
where he's going
every
with this.
single time.
Yeah, like what are you
Like
doing?
you're sitting on the couch
Yeah.
waiting, like, babe, are you
Yeah, what are we
ready?
doing?
Babe, are you ready?
Yeah, I would
Babe,
get
are you ready?
annoyed probably, especially if I'm ready before you. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So would that be annoying? Would that be annoying for you? He spends all this time to get ready, all this money to buy clothing and shoes and accessories and manicures, etc. Would that
I mean, if he's
annoy
looking
you?
good, you know what I'm saying?
2 hours every
Okay,
time.
2 hours would annoy me, yes.
Okay, there you go.
There you go. Holy.
Okay.
I'm the only one.
The reason why I said that, the
Are
reason
these
why I
supposed to
said
be
that,
yes or no questions?
well, I'm going somewhere with this. Just like most of you, because most of you said it would annoy you, that's how men feel about women that behave like men. Why the hell would you want to be with a guy that behaves like a woman, taking all this time to get dressed, etc.? You'd be annoyed by it. Well, we're annoyed by girls that want to talk back to us, disagree with us, challenge our authority, act like men, be disagreeable.
But are you
Men
saying
don't
that's
like
what
that.
men do?
I'm sorry?
But are you saying that's what men do?
It's an example.
What do you mean?
Okay.
What do you mean
no,
by?
I was just clarifying.
What do you mean that's what men do?
I was just clarifying.
It was like an analogy.
Because you
It's
were
an
saying
analogy.
that women. No, yeah.
Yeah. So the same
Right.
annoyance that you would have for that guy
Yeah.
taking all this time to get dressed and being a diva.
Right.
That's how we feel about masculine women.
Okay.
I feel like those aren't
It's not attractive for you as a lady
comparable.
to behave like a man, just like it's not attractive for us to behave like a lady
Right.
when you're a
Yeah.
woman.
I can agree with
No,
that.
I get that. Yeah. But you said like arguing and everything, but I'm like, is that just what men do? But yeah. No, I get what you
So-
mean.
No, we don't like arguing
No,
with
no,
a girl at all.
I get it. I get it. Yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah.
You said it's not comparable?
Stupid.
I don't think those two like.
Why
I
not?
feel like that's not a good analogy,
Valentisi.
like whatsoever.
Tipped $500. Valentisi ranted from Rumble and says 28 years old multi-millionaire here. All you girls are bums, and no, I don't mean financially. You would do well to just shut up, listen and try to understand what these men are telling you.
Okay,
Were you silent or silent?
So you said that the two aren't comparable. Why do you think that they're not comparable?
I just feel like that's just not a fair comparison. I feel like there's a big difference between someone talking versus someone getting ready, like taking time and someone speaking.
Okay, well, do you think men and women are the same?
I'm sorry.
Are men and women the same?
No. Absolutely not.
So therefore, since they're not the same, I cannot use the same comparison. I must draw a functional equivalent.
I feel like that's not a fair comparison.
It is a functional equivalent because there's the masculine and then there's the feminine, right? The polarity is there. So what I have to do is I have to put you in the shoes, right, of the man. The only way I can do that is by drawing an experience from a female side. So I'm telling you, as the woman, you now have a boyfriend who is a metrosexual who's spending more time, resources, and income to get dressed and get prepared than you do, right? He's taking a feminine role. And then I'm asking you.
That's not feminine. Looking nice, like.
Hold on.
To that degree? That I just expressed?
Oh, does he look fruity? Does he look good? Like.
I feel like
It doesn't matter. It's
You
the
know,
time.
actors,
It's the
they
time.
take time, they have upkeep, they do their makeup. Like actors that are hot guys, like Damon Salvador, who's in Vampire
Yeah,
Diaries.
before they go
all
on
these
screen.
guys-
Oh, I love him.
I know, but
Before
he's
they
still
go on
ready.
screen, they're wearing
He's still
makeup.
Dollars.
If he wanted to look
MYRON,
like that
you
every
and your
day, I
look have
wouldn't be a
changed my
problem with
life
that.
and
He looks
marriage for
good.
better.
One sec.
Girls, name 3 countries. El Chris.
Done.
Yeah, I'll do that here in a second. But you do understand that you're like naming someone who's rich, famous, and has status. It's
I'm
not the
saying
same
if
as a
there's a
regular guy.
And on
who
set
looks
too. He's
just-
working at that time. He's not like at home. Like,
Right,
hey, my
right,
makeup people are around me at home.
I don't think you're understanding my point. My point is, if he was not a famous actor, he was at home in his bathroom, still taking the amount of time, still doing the upkeep that a famous actor would do, and still looked that good. I don't see anything wrong with it. Take 2 hours. You look good, babe. We're going out together.
So I have a
Like,
question
there's
for
nothing
you.
wrong with that.
What is a better analogy example to illustrate this, you would say? From your point of view.
So, what's the point you're trying to make for women?
See? That's the problem.
Reiterate that for me.
You don't even understand
You don't even know what you're
You don't even
arguing
know
about.
everyone's
You're just
names.
arguing to argue.
I'm not arguing. I need you to reiterate it very clearly for
That's
me.
the issue
I'm
here.
not arguing.
That's the issue
I'm gonna
here.
argue
What's
my
my
point
name,
now.
baby?
I mean, I
That's
think
what I thought.
Hold on.
So go ahead and reiterate it for
Whole
me,
four.
please.
I think the other ladies on the panel understood it very well. That's why all of them were like, hey, well, majority were like, no, I wouldn't want my man to spend more time and resources in getting dressed than me because that's a feminine trait.
But here's the thing.
And just
he
because,
asked
and keep in mind, just because you're okay with it, because you said you're okay with it, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Well, clearly you're an exception to the rule. Most of the girls here don't want it.
I understand that. But he specifically asked me on my opinion on why I think differently, and that's what I was answering. Did you forget that?
No, he said what he asked you. What analogy would you use to describe the polarity difference?
That was
That's what he
not
asked
the
you.
initial question.
That's what he asked you. I rephrase like that's what he basically said. So he said, how should he have said it then? Is basically what he said to ask you.
I would need time to think, just like you have your little notepad. I would need to write it down. I would need to think of an analogy.
You want one too? You can have one too, by the way.
I didn't write that
Can I?
analogy down. I literally I'm right. This is all your guys. I didn't even write
Do
that
you not
analogy down.
remember what you were talking about? Is that why you can't tell it to me so clearly?
And,
I literally just asked you
I'll
to
just say this. Look,
reiterate
you
it
see,
so I
look,
can
look,
make
you
an
see,
analogy.
and this is for the chat. What the fuck is that?
What the fuck is that? There's some music.
I don't know. It sounded good.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's what I'm just saying. You know, as part of like the generalized arrogance that comes from like the kind of this girl and this girl here. Like just a daily conversation, like
Listen,
not actually.
Barney, I don't want to hear you talk about arrogance.
Relax.
My
but not having a sense of dignity, not being cordial to strangers, you know, acting like
You can't say Barney.
low IQ, low class people. Like guys are just like, what the fuck am I going to tolerate this?